In 1773, aboard a westbound slave ship named New Britannia, the sharp edges of mutiny threatened the fragile life of the vessel. A daring plan, led by children, was about to unfold, with explosive consequences. While their captors weren't looking, a few African children crawled past the surveillance apparatuses of the ship, slipped some tools to the men in the suffocating middle deck, and watched as their fathers, brothers and uncles ran into the weapons room, commandeering the offensive heart of the ship. Moments later, surrounded by gunpowder, the freed slaves held the ship to ransom, holding off their captors in crossfire for a little more than an hour. When the situation took a turn for the worse, the slaves set fire to the gunpowder magazines, igniting a huge explosion that destroyed the ship and killed most on the ship. To them, refusing to give their bodies to the imperatives of the plantation, even when it meant certain death, was a queer form of life. Their refusal, echoing the mass suicide at the Ebo landing about 30 years later, wounded the ocean, causing it to bleed. That broken and accursed part of the sea never did heal. Instead, its undulating surfaces and cracks arrived ashore, like a fugitive oil spill, creeping to land, multiplying into hidden ecologies, spawning queerer lives, sludging through tired language fields of generational trauma, performing new worlds an inch behind the favored algorithms of shiny new cities. This is more than a myth, that when lives explode, their ghosts migrate, their screams echo through time, dislodging the furniture of the familiar just a little. We live and breathe in the afterlife of exploding pasts. Our bones and joints are held together with ligaments of refined tears. Our settlements are composed of these strange migrations congealed long enough to be forgotten as mere objects of the familiar. There are breaks and wounds and cracks around us. In the crease between where things ought to be and where they are dwell ghastly stories of failure, of sedition, of thick plots, and undone journeys. It is within these margins of error that new worlds, new gods, and new cartographies live. It is to these dense spaces of the otherwise that we must turn. Perhaps our children will slip into our hands the master's tools, reconfigured in the wild magic of their playful epistemologies, with which we might compose our next daring act of marriage. Bayoako molafe.